Oh no. Hiya, Sonneveld. How are you? Hello, Raiders. Thank you so much for the raid. I was like, no viewers, excellent. I can just doss around and break things. Now there's all of you lot to entertain. Hooray! In the beginning, there was a raid, indeed. You stream for 30 minutes, yeah. I'm I have a 1-year-old, and it's, you know, it has a knock-on effect with my organization and streams and things. Yeah, howdy, welcome in everybody. Let's see if my stream setup works. I haven't streamed in a few weeks. Yes, it works. Oh dear. Hi. Oh dear. Yep, there's nothing I can do about that. You just finished King's Quest 6 demake. Ooh, in the adventure game engine. Nice. It is. I am Fast Wolf. There is some of the nightmare from Max Payne in there. There's some Quake screaming. There's some Max Payne nightmare heart pumping. There's some GoldenEye bits in there as well. This is sort of a weird mashup of things I like that all have the same tempo. Yeah, thank you for the follow. I hope you don't mind. I have not changed my setup to have anonymous follows, so I'll either not read them out or I'll cover my eyes. Love that. Thanks. I'm going to be playing Discworld Noir today. I played half an hour of it 3 weeks ago. The game has just begun. We are a private investigator who's been kicked off the City Watch for taking a bribe. You don't need to be anonymous. Well, that's okay then. So let me go over to the capture window. Yeah, so if you like adventure games, we're playing the last Discworld adventure game, which is they went all 3D, similar to Grim Fandango, except they managed to have mouse controls instead of it be tank controls. Do people still remember that with the with the remaster? Anyway, enjoying this thoroughly so far. Yes, I believe this year both of the other Discworld games let you keep items you weren't supposed to have as well. Just because they were like, we can't see how you could possibly break the game with this. It's your bedtime, so you've got to go. Hope I have an awesome stream. Thank you very much, and thank you very much for the follow. Have a good evening. You too, Sonneville, if you've got to go and, I don't know, eat or sleep or do real life things, no worries. Thank you very much for the raid. You had no idea there was a third game. Wow. Yeah, it's really good. I've only played half an hour. I could show you guys the intro if you like, so you kind of know what's going on. I'll wait and see if anyone says yes, and if nobody says yes, then I'll just carry on. Excited to see more Noir. Had to bump the game because it was so dark by default. The gamma. We'll see how this one comes out. I'm playing this on a 98 rig. It's AMD K6 3 Plus 450 megahertz. It's, well, you say OG hardware might do the gamma correctly. It's a Voodoo 3, and it does some funny things with colors and gammas. So we'll see. Okay, we'll just go in from where we left off. We've gone to the club to see Sammy, the pianist, ask him questions. And there's the captain of a ship as well that came in, and Nobby Knobs is here, who's the one of the city watchmen. So this is a really interesting game in that you take notes. It, like, whenever you get clues and you get bits of information, and it puts them in your notebook. You're gonna let me look in the damn notebook? There we go. So we've got cases and we've got contacts and suspects. And when you're in dialogue with people, you can open your notebook and you can use, like, the things you've written down in it to, like, for lines of interrogation. It's a really cool system. I have no idea how well fleshed out it's going to be, but so far it seems interesting. Right. The Mundy case, that's what we're working on now. Oh.
Are you Captain Jenkins?
That depends on who's asking.
Don't play
Might have to speed up the
games.
dialogue a little bit.
I'm just after a few answers.
That song really put you in a bad mood, didn't it?
If you're trying to get me angry, it's working.
No need to get upset. You need to drink more and think less.
If I drank any more than I do now, I'd never think again.
there's a really amusing
ticket.
foreword in the manual written by Terry Pratchett
I
where
understand
he
you were carrying a man named
describes
Monday on your
the
ship.
concept of film noir, and then he goes on to describe the concept of Discworld, and he just repeats
it
what
they
he said
do?
about noir verbatim, but
I was
changes
hoping to find him.
changes the locations and the names. It's pretty funny.
Owes you money, does he?
No. He's an old friend.
Him? You must think I'm as drunk as I look.
Aren't you?
Thank you for the follow,
Okay,
Fast
so
Wolf.
maybe I am. What did you want to know?
Where is he now?
I've no idea.
Ugh. The dialogue is painfully slow. That's my fault.
Picked him up in
I was
Sword
messing with
a
the
couple of
settings
weeks
in
ago,
the
and we brought him here.
sound options and made it too slow.
That's about all I want to know about him.
Oh yeah, I didn't really introduce
Did he
you.
say what
You
he
all
was
surprised me so
coming to
much with your
Angmore
entrance.
for?
Yeah, I'm Whiskey Juliet. This is Retro Game Wednesdays, where most
I think he
Wednesdays
said he was
I'm trying
meeting
really hard at the
someone.
moment to make Wednesdays happen. I play retro games on retro
Well, I can
PCs.
barely remember me
I've got
name,
DOS
let alone
98,
something I
XP,
overheard
Windows
or
7
away
rigs,
last week.
variety of different things. I try and once I start a game, I try and play it through. Sometimes I get bored. Sometimes it's not great. Yeah. Just. How does this work? Let's just turn off subtitles and see if that fixes the talking. So should that be all the way to the right? No, it just seems weird.
Hello again.
Hello yourself.
Okay, that seems a bit better. I would like the subtitles on though. So if we put it all the way to nothing.
Hello again.
Hello yourself.
So, you're the captain of the Milka.
Unfortunately.
Okay, it's the same as Discworld 1.
Ordinarily,
It's only
you'd
if
be
it's
happy to
up
be
at
the
all,
captain
it
of a
slows it
fine
down.
ship
If it's all the way
like
to
yours.
0, it's like,
But
doesn't
after
change
this
the
last
default.
voyage, I'm thinking of taking up farming.
Tough journey?
I don't want to talk about it.
Right.
What was so bad about the last voyage?
I told you I don't.
Sometimes it helps to talk about these things.
Why would I want to talk about it?
All right, let's put that another way. I want to talk about it, and the sooner I finish talking to you, the sooner you can get back to drinking.
By that logic, my best bet would be to just ignore you and carry on drinking.
I was never much good at logic. I did home economics at school. I was hoping you'd let me have a look around on the Milka.
I was hoping that I was going to make enough money to be able to buy myself a harem of exotic dancers called Chantel. But it looks like we're both going to be disappointed.
The Milka looks like a good ship.
You know nothing about ships, do you? She looks like exactly what she is. A rundown tramp schooner with no future.
Any chance I could look around her anyway?
All I want to do is get the cargo loaded and get out of this god's-forsaken city. I don't need people snooping around on board.
On your last voyage, there were 3 passengers, right? Monday and 2 others.
You tell me. You seem to know more about my ship than I do.
I just want to know what you can remember about them.
I remember that we picked them up in Ecclepon, and I know they had a lot of cargo. Oh, and one was a woman, and one was a man, I think.
You think he was a man?
There was something particularly foreign about him. I'm not sure what.
Where's Ecclepon?
Up near the hub. God's forsaken place. All there is to do there is drink and eat fish sandwiches with no tops on.
Sounds like a long way from the Circle C.
We got lost, all right. It's easy to mix up port and starboard when you've drunk too much port.
Are they still on board?
Nope, we dropped them in Ankh-Morpork. And before you ask, I have no idea what they were doing here. That's not my business.
I was beginning to realize that Captain Jenkins only had 2 questions to ask his passengers. Where are you going? And how much money have you got? What do you know about a dwarf named Al-Khali?
There's no one I know.
Has there been a dwarf around asking questions?
I wouldn't know anything about that.
Yes, I will definitely. Yeah, I have a YouTube where I just dump all of my streams and anything that's particularly good gameplay wise. I split them up and put them as individual VODs on a playlist. I think there's a link on my about page on Twitch. Yeah, that's no worries. I appreciate the interest. You can see the a reading of the funny bits from the manual and the first half an hour I played on there already. I tend to upload the VODs like sometime over the week before the next stream. It varies. Right.
What do you know about a woman named Carlotta?
There's no one I know.
Alright, I think this guy's a bit of a dead end.
I suppressed the urge to ask for money. I was broke, sure, but I wasn't that desperate.
Alright, we've got a coin purse, but it's empty. Right.
I decided not to disturb Samael while he was working. Hello, Nobby.
Hello, Luton. How you been keeping?
I've been worse. Of course, I've been better, too. And I've been a hell of a lot better and not much worse.
That's good, isn't it?
Nice.
Don't worry.
I've got
If
an
Commander
alright
Ryan
collection of
sees
big
us
boxes.
together,
You can only
I'll
I haven't
tell
got
him
enough
I
storage
made
for
you
him, so you
talk
can only
to
see
me.
the front row.
It's not that I don't like you, Luton.
There's,
I mean,
there's
we're
another
friends and all,
another row back there.
but it's just, well,
It's just he'd bite your head off if he saw you talking to me.
I've got a
Go
pretty good collection of the LucasArts games, big box, like Sam and Max, Day of the Tentacle, and stuff. The Dig. Yeah.
How you been keeping, Nob? How's the...
not so bad. Been
Okay, we read all that.
No,
no.
polite. I'll catch you later.
Oh, I don't want to say bye, damn it.
Hello, Luton.
It was the bone
How's it
puzzle
going, Nobby?
that got
Doesn't
me.
crumble, I
It was so
suppose.
fiddly. You had to get it just
How you been
right.
keeping, Nobby? How's the rest of the watch?
Not so bad, Luton. Been keeping myself busy. Been working with Sergeant Colon.
How is old fatty Colon?
Still fat. I'll tell him I saw you.
No, you won't.
Oh yeah, and the
Okay, so
drone
maybe I
puzzle.
won't. I was just being... yeah, that's the one.
What's Vimes up to these days?
He got married.
Married? He was only
It's a good
ever
game, though.
married to his
Interesting
job.
concept.
Ah, straight up. He married into nobility.
Old Stoneface in the nobility. That'd
Oof.
drive him crazy.
Well, he's sort of nobility himself now.
What?
They made him commander of the watch. And we got a great new premises down on Pseudopolis Yard. They're full of paintings and vases and all sorts.
Full?
Well, maybe not as full as when we moved in, but pretty full.
I'll have to call round sometime.
Yeah, that'd be good. We got a lot more members in the watch these days. And we got a new dartboard.
Life in the fast lane, huh? Do you seriously think it's a good idea for me to call around? I mean, Vimes isn't gonna like it.
Whatever you may think about him, he's loyal to his job. I can't say he'll welcome you with open arms, but he won't stop you.
I guess I never really understood why it was that you didn't get kicked out as well, Nobby.
Me? I ain't never done nothing wrong.
Don't give me that, Nobby. When you were serving as quartermaster under the Duke of Pseudopolis, it was widely known that several items from the stores were found in your kit.
That was all above board. I had all the paperwork for him.
Your kit at the time consisted of 2 warehouses. I just think Vimes had a grudge against me.
Luton, I know you're my friend and all, but you took a bribe.
Are you trying to tell me you never took a bribe?
Never.
The ham from Harga's House of Ribs?
Evidence.
The pocket clock from the Suicide in the Shades?
I wanted something to remember him by.
The money in the petty cash box?
Mislaid by someone.
Misappropriated by you.
I never misanthropated anything.
I just want to understand why it was that you could get away with all your petty theft, and I couldn't get away with one act of weakness.
Well, you see,
Just say it, Nobby. I'm not gonna hold it against you.
well, I reckon Mr. Vimes thinks that a bit of petty theft ain't something to get excited about. I ain't admitting anything, mark you. Nothing's ever been proved. That compared to some of the stuff that goes on in this city. But someone who's taken a bribe, well, that's like allowing the rich to avoid justice.
That wasn't why I did it.
I know. But you know Vimes.
Yeah, I know Vimes all right.
Hmm.
Do you know anything about a man named Mundy?
I'm not getting drawn into anything while I wait till I...
Right, so he's not going to talk about anything.
I'll catch you later. Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
Right, I think we've exhausted everything here. Ooh, there's more bar. Ooh, there's more bar. Ooh. Lito! Thank you for the sub. Something witty about 22. Probably Tay-Tay related.
Elito007 just subscribed. Something witty about 22. Probably Tay-Tay related.
How's it going? Are you in the office today, or you're working from home?
I suppressed the urge to get myself a drink, although I could really have used one.
Off work? No worries, Fastball. Thanks very much for hanging out. Nice. Thanks for sticking around. Have a good evening.
My old friend, the bar. I was tempted to order a drink, but I was working. Hello again.
Hello.
Okay. So where's the entrance? I came in through the back.
There was no use trying. The cart was being loaded with... Apart from the wine, I can't say I was interested. I knew full well that I wouldn't be able to get down...
Okay. Do I have the right key? This crowbar is awfully key-shaped.
You can't go around jimmying every door open just because you can. Besides, I liked some ale, and I drew the line...
Okay, so it's just the front entrance. There's the front and the back. Hmm.
I could hardly
Any new locations? We've got the cafe, office, and the wharf.
Something told me I wasn't going to learn. The sailor was busy. The crates on the wharf.
Oi! Get away from that!
A lot like the sailor. The crates on the wharf were built on a large frame, sturdy and thick.
Oi! Get away from that!
A lot like the sailor.
Well,
I couldn't tell what the crates contained. Outgoing cargo was. I needed to know whether Mundy had brought something.
hmm.
The first mate didn't look particular. Still here?
Not for much longer, I hope.
When do you sail?
As soon as we've got her loaded.
How much is passage?
Where are you looking to go?
I don't know. Sort, perhaps.
We've just come from there. It'll be a long time before we get back there again.
Did you bring any passengers?
Sure.
We heard all this.
Do you sacrifice?
No. The captain doesn't like it. He says it's bad for business. I said that we were advertising ourselves as offering an exciting tour of the Circle C. But he pointed out that most people would expect the tour to be above the water. If I'd had my way, we'd have thrown some people off the last voyage.
Bad omens?
The whole crew had a bad feeling of dread from the moment we...
Looking at the state of... This is the milk.
That's what it said.
Ah! We got a new location somehow?
This is the Milka, isn't it?
That's what it says on the prow.
Was there a man named Mundy on the last voyage?
It's funny you should ask that. You're the second person to...
Who was the...
A dwarf. I don't think he was from round...
What about Mundy? What was...
I don't pry into the passenger's business. Not that I blame him. Something was definitely amiss on this last voyage.
Do you know where he is now?
Monday? No. Like I said, I don't pry into...
Unless you actually look.
Hey, what are you in...
I'm not infer... I'm implying that you might have had a look.
If I had, I certainly wouldn't have...
Which either means you didn't look, or you didn't find anything of interest.
You better watch your steps, son. It's not good to make accusations like that.
Don't worry. Anything we discuss is strictly between you, me, and anyone else I tell. Since that was who I'd learned about that,
Damn it.
I gave the description of Al-Khali to the first mate, and he recognized it.
Yeah, that's the dwarf who was asking about Monday before. Strange little fellow.
A word of advice. Don't use phrases like strange little fellow when you're talking about dwarves. Especially not drunken dwarves, or dwarves like Al-Khali who seem to think they're invulnerable.
Okay.
What was strange about...
I don't know. One of them seemed kind of... I mean...
What do you know?
Doesn't ring any bell.
Tempting as it was, I decided not to start attacking people with the crowbar. I suppressed the... I would...
Okay.
Well, safe voyage, if that's possible. Perhaps the single crate would be a bet.
Oi! Get away from that!
Okay, so that's what the crowbar's for.
Oi! Get away!
How do we get rid of this goon then?
Something told... The sailor was busy loading the...
Hmm.
Along the length of the wharf were hundreds of posts for mooring ships to. It seemed like a lot of bollards to me.
Hmm.
I decided the pianist, Samael, was one of Cafe Ank's greatest assets. Not only was he a first-rate musician, but there was something about him that made you think it'd be a bad idea to start any trouble. I decided not... I could talk to Samael later. The pianist, Samael...
Okay, okay.
Hello again.
Hello.
So,
On.
I'll... s-
Oh. What? Why does it do that? Come on.
Hello again.
Hello.
This.
So,
Word.
tough journey.
I d-
Okay. We've asked about both of these.
The Milka look...
You know. Boy.
Asked about Monday.
What do you...
There no.
On your...
You-
I just...
I think.
You think?
There. I'm
Where's it?
up. Good.
Hmm.
All there is.
Am I stuck already?
Lost, all right. It's easy.
Are they...
No. And be asked.
I was be... What do you...
There no.
Hmm.
I was...
I was hoping that I would.
I'll see.
Hello, Luke.
How you been? How?
I was
Polite. What do you...
I'm not getting... Wait.
Do you know anything about some passengers...
Just a crowbar and an empty coin purse.
What do you know about a woman...
I'm not getting drawn into anything while I'm off.
Hey, PS1 Addict.
Wait
How's it
till I'm
going?
back at the yard.
But yeah, he's not going to say anything.
Although the crowbar was a lot heavier than a set of... I guess if lockpicks were invented for thieves, the crowbar was invented for the private investigator. Tempting as it was, I decided...
What am I missing? Turn the brightness up. Is it not bright enough on stream? It looks. I've got it on a CRT. It's brighter than on the stream on my screen. Am I missing like a whole person or something on the floor? Maybe. Yeah, I can see. I just I've got nowhere new to go, and I've spoken to everyone about everything. Well, I found the crowbar already. Okay. Outdoors. Well... That just leaves. Oh, he's gone now. That's what it was. I just had to wait for him to bugger off. Interesting.
I didn't much like being jammed into a crate and loaded onto the ship, but I could think of worse fates. Like being jammed into a crate full of rats and loaded onto the ship. What's your name then, little fellow?
There we go. Progress.
The hold was dark and dank, and I couldn't shake the feeling that I wasn't alone. I pulled the label out. It had writing on it that I couldn't understand.
A clue, perhaps.
The bilge water was littered with flotsam that looked like the remains of a smashed crate. The hold was full of crates for the outgoing voyage. They were of little interest to me.
Leia.
There was nothing of value. It looked lived in. The question was, by what?
Hey, BGH.
The bilge water. It was just flotsam. The River Ankh, the mighty river which gave Ankh-Morpork its characteristic stench. Even before it entered the city, it was already slow and heavy, with the silt of the stow plains. By the time it reached the seaward side, even an agnostic could walk across it. I searched a bunk and found a small scrap of cardboard. It could have been anything. There was a number on the back. Either a 6 or a 9. It was hard to say. A perfectly ordinary bunk bed. A bunk bed, like... I searched one of the bunks, but found nothing useful, and nothing I wanted to think too closely about.
Oof. Gross.
I'd managed to remain hidden on the ship, but I knew my luck couldn't last forever, because I'd stopped being lucky around age 12. The first mate looked less than happy, but I don't think he saw who I was as I dived in elegantly on my Ankh. Fortunately, the crust of the Ankh was soft that night, and I escaped both injury and discovery, although I needed 2 baths just to feel dirty.
Okay, so we've got some clues.
The scrap of cardboard I'd found in one of the bunks on the Milka had a number on it, either a 6 or a 9. I didn't think the scrap had been torn off intentionally, but that was all I could tell from examining it. I'd pulled the label out of the flotsam in the bilge water of the Milka. Unfortunately, I couldn't read it. One of the figures looked like a number, but I couldn't be sure.
So we need to find someone who can read this then.
I decided. I could talk to Samael later. Can you read this?
Can't this wait till I get back? I'm off.
I didn't want to show Captain Jenkins anything that might give...
Okay. Out of options again, damn it! So we got a piece of paper we can't read.
Hello again. So,
Ordinarily, I'd be happy being a...
tough journey. What?
There no one...
Hello, Luke.
The scrap of... Does this mean...
Can't this wait? I'm...
Okay. So he won't talk either.
I
We can't talk to Sam.
My old friend, the bar. I was tempted.
Is there more things on the ship? Maybe. Yep, can't do it again. So that's everything on the ship, like, done. Hey, Unix, shouldn't you be asleep?
I decided it wasn't a...
Hate this hacker crap.
How you doing? What is this beautiful jank? This is Discworld Noir. The last of the Discworld adventure games.
All I had to do was track down Mundy and tell Carlotta where he was. I had purchased a large indexed scroll, the Mundy case. I could hardly carry the desk around, even if I wanted to.
Yeah.
I think we could safely say that the door to my office... A lot of strange things had happened to me since becoming a private investigator. But the weirdest was the irrepressible sensation that the most important thing for me to own as a PI was a door with my name painted on the glass. Some mysteries are best left unsolved, I guess. Nothing like a cup of imp-made coffee. Still here.
Not for much.
Oh.
Still. When do you... I decided it was...
What am I supposed to do now then? If I can't get back on the ship and I've... Oh, I could ask this guy. Because he probably don't care.
Something told me... Something told me I was...
Okay, I think I've run out of ideas.
The dwarf I knew... Some... Something told... I couldn't tell what the crates contained. Outgoing. I needed... I couldn't tell what... Out... I need... I couldn't... Out... I couldn't tell... I... The Milka was a tramp schooner. One... What did I need bollard? It wasn't like I could move them. I didn't think the bollard. Along the length of the wharf were hundreds of it.
Really? This seems very strange. I think I'm stuck.
Hello.
Hello.
What do you...
There no...
On your last... Youth.
There was...
Where...
What? There no...
The milk... Any...
Oh,
I understand.
what?
I...
Owes you...
No.
We...
I didn't want to show...
And Nobby won't talk to me about anything. And there's nobody else to talk to. What am I missing?
I decided the pianist's a male, not all.
Hello, Luke.
I'll catch you. Don't.
Hmm.
The cart was being loaded with apart from the wine. The golem was it was just magically. The cart was being loaded with I decided not.
I can't believe I'm scanning already. Is it bugged? I don't want to have to read a tutorial straight away. That would suck. I feel like I made a little bit of progress. We found the label and the...
I think. Unfortunately, one of the figures looked like a number, but I couldn't be sure. I'd pulled the label. I didn't think the scrap of cardboard I'd found in one of the bunks on the Milka had a number on it, either a 6 or a 9. I could hardly... Sapient pair. Unfortunately, I couldn't afford a desk. It's a nice desk, though.
What am I missing? Something. I feel like I'm missing something somewhere. Who said that? What? What?
My office. The Cafe Ankh. The wharf.
Strange.
I couldn't.
I can't use this crate again. Means I can't get back on the ship.
The first mates didn't. The first. Still. Not.
Maybe I need to look at more people.
The first mate wasn't.
Like, add them to my book. Maybe that's what I'm doing wrong.
Righty-ho, righty-ho.
My old friend, the pianists, not. Hello again.
Hello yourself.
So, what was so bad? I was hoping you'd let me.
I was hoping.
Is there any?
Hello, Lieutenant.
How's it? How you been? I guess. What's Vime? Does this?
Can't it? I'm.
Can you read this?
Can't it? I'm.
What do you?
I'm not getting drawn into. Wait.
Do you know?
They brought that regulation in after.
Whoa, 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 what's this?
Do you know anything about some passengers that came into town by ship a few days ago?
That's not much to go on.
You're a corporal in the watch. You're supposed to have a keen, insightful mind.
They brought that regulation in after I joined.
Oh.
What do you know?
I'm not getting drawn. Wait.
Do you know?
I'm not getting. Wait.
Have you heard of it?
How long ago?
3 days.
That's strange.
Why?
Well, there's been a string of odd murders in the last 3 days.
Excellent.
What do you mean, odd?
Finally.
I mean, this is Ankh-Morpork we're talking about.
I'm not sure I should discuss the details with a pavilion.
A civilian, Nobby. How much have you had to drink?
I'm as sober as the day I was born.
Ah, that's a frightening thought.
Brilliant. That's what we were missing. One thing I didn't ask Nobby because everything else gives me the same response. Okay, it's that kind of game.
Was who I'd learned about that from.
Okay. Murders. Brilliant. Thanks, Nobby.
Don't do anything I. Hello.
Hello.
So. Do you know anything about the recent murders in Ankh-Morpork?
I know that there are always murders in Ankh-Morpork. See Ankh-Morpork and die, they say. Often in the same day.
That's not a very helpful answer.
It wasn't a
Excuse
very
me.
sensible question.
No, that's true.
Nobby had told me that there were some mysterious murders in Ankh-Morpork in the last few days.
Sorry, getting a wee bit nippy. Right. Well, Who else can we go bother with this new piece of information? Can we talk to Sam now? No. Right, we can go talk to the other Vimes, I think.
I headed over to Pseudopolis Yard, but Nobby wasn't there yet. I decided to come back later. The headquarters of the Watch at Pseudopolis Yard.
Righty-ho! Righty-ho!
Still here. Not for... When do you know anything about the recent murders in Ankh-Morpork?
Sorry, I wouldn't know anything about that.
Oh, crap. Really?
Do you know anything about...
Sorry.
Something?
Righty-ho!
There we go. There's some slightly odd, arbitrary weighting in this.
I really wanted to ring the bell, but given that Nobby was right in front of me, it would just have wound him up. Hello again, Nobby.
Hello, Luton.
Did I disturb you?
No, no. What made you think that?
Well, there appears to be smoke coming from your ear.
Oh, that, well, I've been working hard, you see.
Working so hard that your ears have caught fire. Don't worry about it, Nobby. It's not like I'm going to report you.
I have been working, see?
Oh, sure. I never doubted it for a second. How's work treating you then?
Not so bad, Luton. I've been busy, though. Rushed off my feet.
Yeah, I can tell. Any word on these murders?
Nothing yet, but our top investigators are working on the case 24 hours a day.
Nobby?
Yeah?
Are you one of those crack investigators?
Yeah? Why?
Never mind. Just a thought. Do you know a dwarf by the name of Al-Khali?
Never heard of him.
How did you know he was male, then?
You can't trick me. Everyone knows dwarves don't use the female pronoun.
Okay, okay.
Mind you, I've always wondered what a female pronoun was.
One of nature's wonderful mysteries, Nobby.
Is it normally kept covered or what?
I'm going to leave it to your rather uninventive imagination, Nobby. I don't suppose you've investigated the passenger...
Of course I have.
Sorry, but you're not the most, diligent of investigators.
I work as hard as any man of my rank.
You're the only man of your rank. There's 3 dwarfs, 2 troll, a woman and a zombie with the same rank as you, but you're the only human male. I know you're human because you carry a bit of paper to prove it, signed by the midwife. The maleness, I'll take that on trust.
Do you want me to help you or not?
What have you got?
Well, I interviewed one of the passengers.
What did you learn?
That's official watch business.
You didn't learn anything, did you?
Not as such, no.
Any chance I could interview this passenger?
I don't see why not. She's down in the Cafe Ankh now.
Well, that's something, I guess.
Okay.
What do you know about a woman named Carlotta?
Never heard of him.
Do you know anything about a man named Mundy?
Never heard of him.
Have you learned anything about the Milka?
Yeah, not as such, no.
You go to great lengths to conceal how little work you do, don't you?
Hey.
Alright, that's all of the notebook questions. Let's ask about these things.
Can you read this?
Give me a break, Luton. I don't know everything.
Yep.
Does this mean anything to you?
No.
Okay.
I really... The troll stepped out of the shadows like light was too intimidated to illuminate him. He seemed like the quiet sort, but you got the feeling that if you stepped out of line, you'd get your teeth kicked down your throat. For that matter, he could kick your throat down your chest and your chest through your legs. But I was hoping it wouldn't come to that, because none of my clothes would fit.
Find Therma.
Sorry, friend, I don't understand.
Find Therma.
You want me to find Therma? Is that it? Well, what is it? A person? A thing? Look, if we're going to carry out a conversation, it would help for you to talk.
Find Therma.
Okay, find Therma. What's your name, friend? There was something about a troll that big that made you want to call him friend.
Malachite. Find Therma. You've got to find her.
I wasn't about to argue with a troll that could twist my head off and use it as a cocktail onion. Okay, friend, what can you tell me about her? Any suggestions of where I should start looking?
Used to sing at the Octarine Ballad. Find Therma. Got to find Therma.
How can I contact you?
Find Therma.
That was all he said. I guess he wasn't very bright. But then there's things under damp logs that are brighter than most trolls.
The plot thickens. It's almost as thick as the River Ankh.
You could say this about now. Well,
Can I just skip straight to the question book things? Yeah.
have you heard of a singer called Therma?
Never heard of her.
I don't suppose you know a troll named Malachite.
Not Mount Malachite.
Describe him.
Big, tall, stupid, not very talkative.
That's the one.
He went down for theft years ago. I seem to remember he had accomplice.
An accomplice?
Yeah, he denied it, but we all thought he was working with someone.
I don't reckon he was the brains of the outfit. What happened?
He escaped. Not that long ago either. As far as I know, he's on the lam. Why? You've seen him?
No, just interested.
You can't recall if the whiskey knocked you flat, or if
I thought I told you never to Ilsa. I thought I would never see her again. I prayed that I'd never see her again. But either the gods didn't listen, or they were having a laugh at my expense. Knowing the gods of the Discworld, I had a pretty good idea which. Play it again, Sam.
You know what? No one's ever going to believe you said that.
Hello, Ilsa. How long's it been?
Too long.
That's funny. I was thinking that it wasn't long enough.
Aren't you pleased to see me?
Sure. Like a jellyfish praying for the tide to come in.
What's that supposed to mean?
If I always knew what I meant, I'd be a genius.
Back then, you always knew what to say.
I still know what to say. I just choose not to.
You're getting a big kick out of making me feel cheap, aren't you? Well, maybe I had it coming.
Hey, don't take my side. You'll take all the fun out of it. I spent years rehearsing what I'd say if I saw you again. What I'd ask you. I tried to imagine what you'd say.
But now I'm here. You can't think of anything to say?
Now you're here, and I just want to slap you. Just once. Across the cheek.
What will that prove?
That I still haven't forgiven you.
You're not making this easy, Luton.
Did you think I would? Did you think I'd just come bouncing up to you like a trained puppy? Maybe I'd wag my tail and wait for you to throw me a stick. Well, I'm never going to be another woman's dog for as long as I live.
That's cruel.
Not as cruel as the day you left me.
Ooh.
What made you ask for that song?
I was feeling sentimental.
It's good to know that you still remember me.
How could I forget?
I don't know. But you managed to leave. I figured you'd probably manage to forget as well.
Never.
I tried to forget you. I tried to forget the day you left. I tried to forget the good times. I tried to drown your memory in cheap whiskey.
And did you forget?
I don't remember.
I still remember you. That's what the song means to me. It's everything that's good about our time together.
You got lucky, Elsa. You got all the good memories, and I got all the bad.
It didn't have to be like that.
It's always like that. I suppose you have some explanation for what you did. Some pat excuse that'll make everything all right.
There's no excuse for what I did.
At least we agree on one thing.
Why do you hate me so much?
Because I had everything when I had you. And when you left, you took everything with you. It's easy to hate someone who took it all away from you.
It hurts to hear you talk like this.
Good.
Oh. Now read this piece of paper.
I figured I'd better make sure Ilsa was on the Milka before asking her about the label.
God damn it.
So, you came in on the Milka, did you?
Yes.
Alone?
No. I came with a companion.
It figures.
What?
Women like you are never alone.
I've been alone.
You know nothing about loneliness. You know nothing about what it's like to not know why you've been abandoned. You don't know what it's like to watch your career slip away because the one thing you care about has been taken from you. You don't know what it's like to spend years going into restaurants and asking for a table for one.
You don't eat in restaurants.
Okay, but if I did, that's what I'd ask for.
Why did you ask about the Milka?
You came aboard in Ecclepon, right? With a man.
Yes, his name's Two Conkers. How did you know?
It's my job to know.
You're being paid to find out where people board ships?
No, I'm a private investigator.
Nice.
Have you met a man named Mundy?
Yes, there was a man named Mundy on the ship we came in on. He kept himself to himself mostly.
What can you tell me about him?
He seemed nervous.
Anything else?
I remember him going down to the cargo hold at one point. He looked really shifty, as if he was hiding something.
Is that it?
That's all I can think of.
What do you know about a woman named Carlotta?
I've not met them. Sorry.
What do you know about a dwarf named Alkali?
I've not met them. Sorry.
Ilsa had told me she was traveling with a man named Two Conkers. For now, that was all I needed to know. Tell me one thing, Ilsa. Are you involved in these murders?
What?
The murders. They started when you arrived in town.
I can't believe that you would think such a thing. That's terrible. I mean, I know I've done some bad things, but I've never killed anyone in all my life.
Just checking.
I feel like if we're going to ask anybody about Two Conkers, it's her we should be asking, but okay. All right, let's ask about the other case, just to be thorough.
Do you know a troll by the name of Malachite?
I've not met them. Sorry.
Do you know anyone named Therma?
I've not met them. Sorry.
Okay. That's it then, is it?
Can you read this?
Yes, it says Pier 5.
What language?
Agatean.
How do you know an obscure language like that?
Actually, Two Conkers is from the counterweight continent. I learned it from him.
I thought that people weren't allowed to leave the Agatean Empire.
Oh, things have freed up these days.
I'd be careful who you tell about Two Conkers, Ilsa.
Why?
People can be funny about foreigners, and there's always been rumors about the Empire. They say they use powerful magic there. The last time one of them arrived here, the city got burned down.
Two Conkers isn't going to burn the city down.
You know that, and I know that. But the average man on the street doesn't know that. They see the unknown as a threat.
Why? Two Conkers is harmless. No one's that stupid.
Let me let you in on a little-known secret. You know how stupid the average person is?
I think so, yes.
Well, statistically, half of them are even dumber than that. I found this on the Milka. Does it mean anything to you?
A piece of cardboard with a number on it?
I think it might have something to do with Mundy.
If you've constructed murder and a giant conspiracy out of that, I'm going to be very impressed.
Not yet, but I'm working on it.
Okay.
I suppressed...
Right.
Don't go far. I might want to shout at you again.
I'm sorry, Luton.
Not sorry enough. Hello again.
Hello.
Do you know any...
I know that there are always...
That's right. Yeah, we got the sassy answer from him. Or is the stupid question?
There are no... There are no...
Do the names Ilsa and...
How many names is...
2?
Apparently not.
They were on your ship.
Ah, I see. Ask me that question again.
Do the names Ilsa and 2
I
Conquers
was just going to say they were on my
mean anything
ship.
to you?
Yes, they were on my ship.
You're not gonna tell me anything useful, are you?
It's not looking likely, is it?
Okay.
I decided...
Right, let's go check out this new location.
I'd heard of the Octarine Parrot. It made other dives sound appealing. What a place. I could feel the rats in the walls. Hell, I could see the rats in the walls. In fact, some of them had come out of the walls and were sitting at the tables. Come and see the greatest historical tragedy ever told, Antilogy in Cleffatara, Whell's masterpiece as 'twas meant to be performed by actors. Eat at heart. I couldn't imagine who would pay attention to the notices in a seedy dive like the Parrot, but I guess they were of interest to someone.
Ah, coffee's good all weather.
The bar looked almost as appealing as every other bar in town to me, but the drinks didn't exactly fill you with confidence. Can I help you? You could sell me a drink. What's your poison? I'd prefer whiskey, straight with a whiskey chaser. You didn't come here to drink, did you? Well, I didn't come here for the sparkling conversation. Most of the customers go squeak, squeak. This seems like a nice place. No, it doesn't. It seems like what it is, a wretched hive of scum and villainy. It's tough to get to the top in that field. You could have that on a sign outside. Come to the Octarine Parrot, the most wretched hive of scum and villainy this side of the Ankh. You being funny? Apparently not. You look a little nervous. I can't shake the feeling that sooner or later someone is going to get their arm cut off.
Wow, there's a lot of Star Wars references for one sentence.
Have you always owned the Parrot? No. It used to be a troll bar. I took over the place after the riots. Did you keep any of the staff? Sure. I kept anyone who wanted to stay and wasn't too badly injured by the riots. But there's something about a group of rioting trolls that makes people reluctant to walk back into a place. Or indeed, unable. Did you keep any singers on the staff? Only Sapphire. It's not often I see a half-elf bartender. Be honest. It's not often you see a half-elf. Okay, you got me. What's the deal? I don't like to talk about it. I thought elves were supposed to be irrepressibly likable, so that they can get away with whatever acts of cruelty they want. Like cats. Well, I'm not an elf, all right? That's the problem, isn't it? Everyone can see that you've got elf blood in you, but you've got none of the advantages. All you get is people's prejudice. I don't like your manner. I'm not selling it. Tell me about Sapphire.
Why don't you just talk to her yourself? Just don't bother her while she's working, all right?
What do you know about a woman named Carlotta?
I know a lot of people. That doesn't mean I want to talk about them with you.
Right.
What do you know about a dwarf named Alkali?
I know a lot of people. That doesn't mean I want to talk about them with you.
Do you know of a troll who goes by the name of Malachite? Tall, terse, and dense, in both senses of the word.
Might have been one of the customers from when this used to be a troll bar, but I wouldn't know him if he was.
Do you know someone named Therma? She used to sing here.
That'd be before my time. Sapphire might know. She knew all the troll singers from back before I took over the parrot.
Do you know a woman named Ilsa?
I know a lot of people. That does.
Do you know anything about the...
Only what you're about to tell me.
You're not very helpful, are you?
Just because I don't want to help you doesn't mean I'm not helpful generically. Say, I do like your hard-boiled dialogue. How long do you boil it?
About 12 minutes from when the water begins to bubble.
Sorry, that tickled me.
I gave Mank... He told me that he hadn't. Maybe I could trust him. A half-elf doesn't need to make any more enemies.
It what?
I gave Mencken Mundy's description and asked if he'd seen him. He told me that he hadn't. Maybe I could trust him. Do you know anything about the Milka?
If you asked fewer questions, maybe you'd get more answers.
Does this mean anything?
Tiny means you got far too much time on you.
Can you read this?
Nope.
If I could have taken the bar... There was nothing I could do with the stage other than be... There was nothing I could do with the stage other than be glad I didn't have to perform on it. The troll singer was something else. I didn't know what, but she was something. Can we talk?
Certainly look that way. Move mouth, waggle tongue. Yeah, it all working.
My name's Luton.
Sapphire.
I could already tell that Sapphire was a troll who could look after herself. I knew I'd have to watch my step around her. It was quite a long way around her, too, and not the pretty way. You've been a singer here long.
Long enough.
Long enough for what?
Long enough to want to be singing somewhere else.
Oh.
Tell me about yourself.
I'd tell you about myself in 4 words. Big ideas, small results.
Why did you become a singer?
Aren't many jobs for a troll like me. And at least this one honest.
Is honesty important to you?
As much as anything else.
I'm guessing nothing much matters to you right now, Sapphire.
You catch on quick, Luton.
What do you know about the barman?
Mankin? Not much. Know that him a bigger loser than me.
How come?
He owns this place. At least Sapphire if Sapphire wants to.
Why don't you leave?
Where would I go? No place on disc for a troll like me. Spend our whole lives waiting for break. Just one chance to come our way that can seize in both hands tightly. But it never come. Or if it do, we don't recognize it. So we go back to grind of job we hate. And just keep on ticking each day, one step closer to end.
Oh, thanks for
Do
hanging out,
children's
Sonneveld.
parties.
Have a good evening. And thank you so much for the raid.
Have you heard of a troll singer named Therma? She used to work here.
Huh, a troll singer named Therma.
What's so funny?
Nothing. Sure, Sapphire know her.
Know where I could find her?
Try morgue. She dead. Her house on Tallow Street collapsed while back now. We trolls may be tough, but we're not indestructible. Rumors say she was practicing her moves and knocked out load-bearing beam. Brought whole place down on top of her. That's why Sapphire never practiced.
That's the only reason.
That, and I don't wanna.
Know where she's buried?
Sapphire don't know, but think they buried her under stage name Madame Lodestone.
Madame Lodestone?
Sure, on account of how attractive she was.
So,
Who are you, the narrator? I told you.
I don't suppose you'd know a big troll called Malachite.
Sure, he troll a few words, 'cause he don't know that many.
Do you know where I could find him?
Sapphire not seen him in years, but you try Rodin's workshop. He used to hang out there.
Nice, it's all coming together.
I gave Sapphire Monday.
Don't ring no bells, honey, but that don't mean much. We get lots of humans through.
Do you?
Ask too many.
What do you?
Sapphire know lot.
What do you?
Sapphire know lot of people.
Do you?
Sapphire.
Word is there's been a lot of strange murders recently.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Why not?
There are a lot of strange people.
You're not wrong.
Can you?
Ask too many questions.
So we've got Pier 5 to check out. And Rodin's workshop.
The watchman had a look of mad dedication about him. It was the kind of look that could only be achieved by someone whose job was so mind-numbingly tedious that their only pleasure came from being blisteringly unhelpful to everyone who came along. I take it you're the watchman for this warehouse?
Wow, you're sharp. People never work that out. I mean, there are so many reasons that I might want to be out here on a pier in the middle of nowhere, but you went straight to the fact that I'm a watchman. Well done.
That's a real talent you've got there. It usually takes me much longer to take a dislike for someone. Let me guess. Not only are you the watchman for this warehouse, but you are so bored that anyone who comes along is a target for abuse.
You're good. I'll give you that. Sharp as a pancake. What brings you here?
Research. I'm on an investigation.
You with the watch?
No, I work alone.
So you're a criminal.
This is Ankh-Morpork. We're all guilty of something.
I'm not. pure as the driven snow.
Oh, yeah? Well, you've just directly violated the patrician's laws about groundless metaphor.
What?
Well, can you prove to me that you're as pure as snow?
Ah, but that wasn't a metaphor. That was a simile.
Because, of course, the patrician is going to be swayed by a pedantic defense like that.
I guess you have a point.
Do you know anything about the...
That's nothing to do with me.
I don't think this guy's going to be helpful at all, but, you know, be thorough and whatnot.
Well, not that animated, but more animated than he had been.
That's the one. He tried to break into the warehouse the other night.
You're sure?
Or maybe I just like stringing you along for fun.
What happened?
I scared him off. I'd like to know where he is now, though. It doesn't look good to have people get away with breaking into a place like this. Bad for our reputation.
Oh, I'm sure. Because everyone respects you, and this would just put a total stop to all those dinner party invitations.
Oi, watch it.
Heard of the Milka?
Sure. Put it in my coffee,
It's a ship.
Yeah, I know. Just winding you up.
Well, I'm already about as tightly wound as I'm going to get. Unless you were planning to use me as an alarm clock, I'd start thinking about being cooperative.
Where's the fun in that?
The Milka?
Oh, yeah. All I can tell you is that they unloaded their cargo here.
What was their cargo?
Oh, I couldn't tell you that. That'd be violating Watchman cargo confidentiality.
There's no such thing.
Oh, all right. I just don't want to tell you then. Satisfied?
Ecstatic. What do you...
Sorry, it's the night work, you know.
I gave the
Excuse me.
watchman Al Collie's
I need a cup of tea.
He didn't recognize it. Do you know what...
Sorry, I don't get to it.
Do you know anyone...
Sorry.
Yeah, same answer for all of them.
Do you...
Sorry.
Yep.
Have you heard of a singer?
Sorry.
Okay.
Does...
That's not...
Righty-ho! If it wasn't for the watchman, I could... As it was. I couldn't tell what the crates contained, and... The River Ankh.
Sorry if you heard that
Probably the
obnoxiously
only
loud
river
car.
in the universe.
Wait, what?
The River Ankh. Probably the only river in the universe on which you could chalk the outline of a corpse.
Crusty.
The skylight sat on the roof, an inviting alternative entrance. I wasn't the Disc's greatest climber, and the warehouse wasn't the easiest building to scale. I was going to need some help.
That means we're done here. We need like a rope or some a grapple hook or a person to help us. Right. Nice.
All I knew about the statue was that it was a work in progress. I didn't have any reason to steal Rodin's statue.
Okay, I need caffeine. That's what I need. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. I will leave you with some music. Yeah. Time for a cup of tea. BRB. I'm back with tea. Oh, great big cup of tea. Right. Catch a window. Alrighty then. Very large, very full cup of tea. Right.
Righty-ho, righty-ho.
You're a tough troll to find, Malachite. You could say something. Okay, so I'll do the talking. So how you been keeping, Malachite? Okay, I guess you don't want to talk about that. This where you're staying at the moment? I guess you're not going to talk about that either. Heard any good jokes recently? How many trawls does it take to change a lamp wick? Want me to give you a clue? He wasn't likely to say anything. Frankly, he wasn't. It was looking like the only way to get through to this. It'd be really useful if you could tell me something about.
Fine.
Yes, but I need some lead.
Fine.
Malachite wasn't being, but he was tall and threatening, so I guess everyone. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I think Therma might be dead. Her house collapsed. She's been gone a while. Are you going to say something?
Need to see the body.
The body?
Find Therma. Need to see body.
Okay, the body. No problem. Sheesh. Do you know anything about Malachite? Listened to what I said, but he. You wouldn't happen to be Rodin, would you?
I know that one. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Take your time.
Yes. Yes, I think I am Rodan. How can I be sure?
Beats me. I had a note from my mother the day they did philosophy at school.
You must conceive form in depth.
Why?
Do you know, I don't remember.
It figures.
What do you make of this?
I stared at the statue he was working on. Face to face with art, we shuffle our feet and apologize. We say, I don't know much about art, but I know what I like. Well, most people do. I can't even say I know what I like. But that's not the point. The point is that if knowing what you like is good enough for shoes and drinks and women, what's wrong with applying the same rule to art? I guess people don't like to look stupid. Personally, I think art's for guys who couldn't do basic maths.
Do you like it?
Well, I don't know much about art. Sometimes I could be such a coward. So you're a sculptor, then?
Yes. Yes. I'm reasonably
reasonably sure I am. Something like that, anyway.
Why do I get the feeling that you aren't going to be much good at small talk? Do you know a troll named
Malachite. Malachite. It sounds familiar.
in your own time?
I think he works for me. Or he did work for me. No, I think he must still work for me. Look, there he is over there.
Do you?
Yeah. Where do I know that name from?
It wasn't hard to lose patience with Rodan. Every day probably took him by complete surprise. Have you heard of a troll named Madame Lodestone?
Madame Lodestone, the fount of all relief. Relief. Relief to be observed and not outlined. Relief tours determination. That's the main thing. To hope, tremble, to be drunk. It's a man's life in the Imperial Artists.
You're not making any sense.
Sorry.
My chat display is balked. Looks like it's cleared itself. I don't know why it's done that. When I switch scenes. It must be the new way OBS... I updated OBS. Must be the new way it clears caches and stuff when you change scenes. I probably have to make sure that the HTML, whatever it is, thingy in OBS is not set to unload when I don't display it or something.
Do you know anything about a man?
Yeah. Where do I know that name from?
It wasn't hard to lose patience. Every day probably took him. Do you know?
Ooh. That's familiar.
Rodan wasn't good at remembering details like his name. What do you... It wasn't...
Okay, I think we're done with this guy. I'll ask about the murders.
You wouldn't...
Oh, murders. Yeah. Oh.
Murders. When people are killed.
No, don't.
Okay.
Does this... Rodan was...
Okay, we're done. We're done there.
Hello again. Have you ever heard of a troll by the name of Madame Lodestone?
Madame Lodestone? No, there's a name I've not heard in quite a while.
You know her then?
Well, no, but I've heard of her. She died in some sort of construction mishap.
A mishap, Nobby.
Whatever. Anyway, if memory serves, they put her body in the Salachi Mausoleum. Don't know how she ended up in such an exclusive establishment, but that's how I heard it.
That doesn't sound very likely.
You did ask.
Rather than just asking all the questions of everybody, even though the game taught me to do that in the first location that we went to with Nobby, with the same replies for everything apart from one question, I'm trying to just stick to things that make sense until we get stuck, and then we'll start asking everybody everything.
The Salachi family mausoleum was one of the most beautiful buildings I'd ever seen, nestled in an upmarket part of the city of Ankh. It was unguarded because, quite frankly, no one in their right mind would do anything to offend the Salachi family, given their ties to the Assassin's Guild. It wasn't just something that wasn't done, it was also something that wasn't survived. The Salachi family mausoleum was full of tombs, more chambers,
Oh, it's a banging cup of
annexes,
tea.
vaults, sepulchres, and catacombs than a thesaurus.
That's a lot of tombs.
The Salachi... I tried to find Therma's grave, but it was a waste of time. You'd need to be an expert in heraldry or genealogy to even begin to navigate around it. I'll say this for the nobility: they keep their dead well indexed.
Righty-ho!
Nope. Luton. Damn it. Come on.
My
No.
purse...
No. Be a book.
You wouldn't happen to know your way around the Salachi family mausoleum by any chance?
I'm sorry, Luton. I don't know anything about that.
You wouldn't happen to know your way around...
I'm sorry.
Okay. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Stand still so I can click on you. One click. Two. Oh.
Have you heard of a singer?
I've not met... Sorry.
What do you...
I've not met... So... You came...
I'm not...
No,
My
she
old
don't know
friend, I
nothing. No.
I decided... I could...
Righty-ho! Righty-ho!
All I had to do was track down my... You wouldn't happen to know your way.
That's...
Hmm.
Righty-ho! Righty-ho!
Hello again. No, Do you know anything about the Salaci Mausoleum? Hello? Hello? Maybe this is a time to take no reply for an answer. Can you tell me anything about the Salaci Mausoleum?
Ah, the mausoleum. The place where the Salaci family bury their dead. The site of burial. The center of internment. The dominant plane, clearly indicated, form directed towards you, all life surging from a center, expanding from within outwards.
Can you tell me anything about the mausoleum?
No, sorry.
Oh, fuck's sake. Hmm.
Why must I be so blue? There's no time to cry over you. Your rugged features frightens creatures the minute you walk.
You wouldn't happen to know your way around the Salaci family mausoleum by any chance?
Nope.
Nope.
Marbled feet crunch my hand whenever we meet.
There wasn't much I could do with the stage. Well,
Take me home. Well, you're my favorite slab of quality granite. Roughly shaped. My baby wouldn't pass for a piece of slate. He's rock hard, skin like sandpaper. Baby, there's no one greater.
Lol. It's fine. I've never relaxed.
you wouldn't happen to know
Wouldn't know anything.
the stage.
Oh.
It made me...
Right.
You wouldn't happen... Give me a break, Luton. I don't know everything. You could say this about Nabi. Well, good. Useful though they are. And
Hmm.
Righty-ho! Righty-ho! Righty-ho!
I decide. Hello again.
Hello.
You wouldn't happen to know.
Righty-ho! Righty-ho!
Still here.
Not from...
You wouldn't happen to.
Sorry, I would...
Have you heard?
Doesn't ring any...
When I gave Ilsa and.
That sounds like the two strangers from the last voyage. You're not with the watch, are you?
Not anymore. Why do you ask?
You just seem to have a good idea of what's going on.
And you thought that meant I was in the watch? Ha! You don't know the Ankh-Morpork watch very well, do you?
Righty-ho! Righty-ho!
I tried to find Therma's grave, but it was a waste of time. You'd need to be an expert in I guess on some nights it must have been quite a beautiful. I like the sky as much as the next man. But it wasn't exactly something I could pick up at the central atrium. I guess on the central atrium of the mausoleum opened up so that you could see the sky. I guess on some nights it must have been. The Salachi family. The Salat.
Righty-ho!
I've got a few.
That's...
Let me. Have you seen any?
Oh, sure.
Where?
On crates.
I have this inescapable feeling that I could try and get some useful information out of you about this, but that it wouldn't be worth the time and effort I'd have to spend on the way.
I'd go with that feeling if I were you.
Does
That's nothing.
tempting? Have you?
Sorry. It's the...
Hmm.
I'd already had to dive onto the Ankh once. I was...
Hmm.
Hello. How's work treating you? Do you know anything?
Never heard of him.
Have you learned anything? What?
Never heard.
Do you know?
Never.
I don't suppose you know a troll named...
Not Mount.
Just... Have you heard?
Never heard.
It didn't seem worth asking. Any word on...
Nothing.
You wouldn't...
Okay.
Hello. Does this...
No.
Can you read this?
Give me a break, Luton.
I really wanted to...
Hmm. Aha.
I don't know why I thought stealing the grapple would be easier than talking to Malachite. It wasn't. I wasn't about to try taking anything off Malachite. He'd crush me like a... Hello again, No, So how you been keeping, I hate to be the... Do you know anything about the Hello. Do you know a woman named Malachite?
Hmm.
Do you know Malachite? Do you
Right, we need to find somebody to help us with the
Always a-
mausoleum to get him to move. And that's how we get in the warehouse. That's how we continue the Mundy case. But who?
Hello again. So you're... Do you know a woman...
Yeah, not that I...
It was...
No.
Righty-ho.
Oh. We got a note.
The note had been pushed under my door by Carlotta.
Luton, I am anxious to see you again and to find out how the case is going. Come to the von Uberwald mansion on Moon Pond Lane. Carlotta von Uberwald.
So, Carlotta was a member of the von Uberwalds, one of the richest and most reclusive families in Ankh-Morpork. That explained why she could afford to offer to pay me so much. It didn't explain why she hadn't got around to paying me yet, but I could wait, at least until the rent was due.
Nice.
Righty-ho.
I already had a bad feeling about the Mundy case, but learning that my employer was a von Uberwald didn't fill me with confidence. I didn't know the facts about the von Uberwalds, but the rumors were bad enough.
May I help you, sir?
You could let me in for a start,
Very good, sir.
and don't call me sir.
As you wish, sir. May I take your coat and hat, sir?
Thanks, but no. I feel naked without them.
That must make it difficult to clean them.
Was that a joke?
I never joke, sir. It's not my job. I may lie, dissemble, or deceive, but I never joke.
Look, I don't want you to take my coat, okay?
But of course, sir. Sir is welcome to drip all over the immaculate hardwood floor that I spent several hours polishing this morning, because Sir is a guest, and Sir is entitled to do whatever Sir wishes.
Nice house.
Sir's taste in architecture must be quite exquisite to so accurately summarize the many splendid cornices and archaic stained glass frescoes of this splendid Lorenzian building as nice.
You have a gift for making people feel welcome, don't you?
One is blessed.
Do you know anything about a...
Regrettably, sir, I know...
Do you know anything about the Milka?
I can't...
You wouldn't happen to know your way around the Salaci family mausoleum by any chance?
Sir has many questions, but alas...
Have you heard...
Regrettably...
That makes sense.
Do you know...
I don't know anything.
Do you know...
I'm sorry. I cannot...
What?
Regrettably.
So what do you make of Carlotta, then?
Sir?
Carlotta. Carlotta von Uberwald. She does live here, doesn't she?
Indeed, sir. Sir is as dogged in his pursuit of the truth as he is determined to warp the incalculably valuable hardwood floor by his persistent dripping.
You're not going to give up on this hardwood floor thing, are you?
As ever, Sir is both astute and incredibly stubborn.
What about Carlotta?
She is also quite astute and most definitely stubborn.
What do you think about her, then?
I am not paid to form opinions, sir, merely to perform menial actions such as guarding the hardwood floor, a task I am alas failing in at the current time.
Will you shut up about the hardwood floor?
As Sir wishes. I will no longer mention how Sir is irrevocably damaging timber felled by the hand of the 77th Earl of Ankh. Boards that have lain here for longer than Sir has been alive, and that were first laid before Sir's father was even a glint in the eye of his grandfather, whomsoever that may have been.
At the start, all I knew about the mysterious... I'll be back. I bet you can't wait.
Indeed, sir. My anticipation is almost tangible.
Go and polish that floor, will you?
Wait, what? I just want to...
Righty-ho!
Hello?
I take it, sir.
No.
Very good, sir. Please feel free.
Nice.
Sir?
Oh, I probably have to show him this thing. Invitation.
I have an invitation from Carlotta.
Sir is as quick to reach the point of Sir's visit as a tortoise with a war wound is in crossing a very large desert. I will fetch Mistress Carlotta for Sir, provided Sir would be so kind as to wait here and not to touch the valuable and irreplaceable furniture that adorns the room Sir is currently dripping on.
I'll see what I can do.
Time to steal shit.
The book was about the lineage and heraldry of the nobility of the city of Ankh. I didn't understand much of it, but I noticed that there were handwritten corrections in it. The book was an old edition of Twerp's Peerage, probably a collector's item. Why do rich families feel the need to leave old, valuable books lying around in their reception halls? It's bad enough that they have so much more money than you without rubbing it in.
Well, can I take it?
The book was about... I didn't understand. The book was an old edition of Twerp's Peerage, probably a collector's item. Why do... It's bad... The painting bore a strike...
The Duchess Charlotte von Uberwald, née Leopoldine. My predecessor, in a sense.
Oh? Are you a duchess?
No, but the resemblance is impressive, isn't it? My husband was struck by it from the moment I met him.
Where is your husband?
Dear Ulrich passed away during a civil uprising in Uberwald several years ago. Quite a terrible business, actually. Peasants, pitchforks, burning torches, the usual sort of thing.
Usual?
For Uberwald, certainly. Their ways may seem barbaric, but it's just the way things have always been done. If there wasn't a civil uprising every few years, I do believe the nobility would be most disappointed. Dying at the hands of a mob in a burning castle is practically traditional.
Tradition important to you, is it?
Ever the investigator, eh, Luton? Even your employer isn't beyond suspicion.
My old boss used to say that everyone was guilty of something.
And what are you guilty of?
I'm good.
Too many things, sweetie, but nothing
How you doing?
to know about. So what's the story with you and Ulrich?
Do you believe in love at first sight?
Oh yeah,
Luton?
let's
It
just
saves a lot of time, certainly.
Ulrich
permanent.
fell for me the moment we met.
Permanent
I
new
guess seeing
feature.
that painting every day probably helped.
Don't sell yourself short.
Unless you're looking
You
sleepy.
have a few assets of your own. I'm
But
sure
he
it
helped.
was an
It's all gone now, though.
transaction.
Big
You
sad.
think I married him for his money?
Did you?
Let me tell you something, Luton. I've been rich and I've been poor. Rich is better.
Did you love him?
Does it matter?
It matters to me.
Maybe I did. I guess it depends on what love is.
Love is a moment of
What is
weakness
love?
that allows someone to hurt you more than you ever thought possible. Men were given the strength to be brutes to women, and women were given love to wreak their revenge.
Who was she, Luton?
Who?
The one who left you with such a high opinion of women. She must have been quite a gal.
You wanted to know how the case was going.
A girl's got to have hobbies.
I think I'm getting somewhere.
We're all getting somewhere, Luton. The question is, am I going to like where you're going?
I guess we'll just have to find that out the old-fashioned way.
That's me, an old-fashioned girl.
Like the girl in the picture.
The Duchess? She was quite a trendsetter in her era. She wore her dress so high, you could almost see her ankles.
My heart is pounding at the thought. I don't have much to tell you about the case, I'm afraid.
You still haven't found Mundi?
Not yet. I might do a better job if I had more money at my disposal.
Ah, yes, of course. You haven't been paid yet.
Well, it had crossed my mind.
I'm sure I could sort something out.
I didn't doubt that she could. The question was, would she? And more to the point, when would she? What can you tell me about the Duchess?
The Duchess Charlotte von Uberwald. Born Charlotte Ameliorati Victoire Tangerine Leopoldine, she married the Duke when she was 13, which was the style at the time. She was considered a risque dilettante by most of the nobility of Uberwald, and rumors abounded that she caused the heart attack that killed the Marquis of Grand Mal when she showed him her naked knees. Her corset was said to be so tight that her first pregnancy went into extra time, and her first and only son had learned his first word by the time he was born.
You're pretty good on this family history business, then.
I dabble.
Do you know a
Be careful, Luton. I don't...
Have you heard of a
No, I haven't.
Never mind. It was a long shot. You wouldn't have an...
Why, Mr. Luton, you must...
I think the worst of everyone. That's my job.
Do you think Mundi could have been murdered?
Anyone could be murdered, but speculation is cheap.
And you're not?
I'm not cheap. I'm a bargain.
We want to ask about the heraldry thing.
I need your help.
I'm not hard to get, Luton. All you have to do is ask.
I need your knowledge. I need to find a particular tomb in the Salaci Mausoleum, but I don't know enough about genealogy. You do.
The Salaci Mausoleum? That could be trouble.
Don't worry. I'm not going to mess with the tombs. I know better than to offend a family whose ties with the Assassin's Guild go back to its very foundation. I just want to see if someone's buried there.
Who's the stiff?
A troll named Therma.
A dead troll? You don't get much stiffer than that, I suppose.
Will you help me or not?
Of course, although I'm not really properly dressed for a mausoleum. You don't mind waiting while I get changed?
It's not like Therma's going anywhere.
If Sarah's not too busy, the master of the house wishes a word with you.
And if I am too busy?
The master of the house still wishes a word with you, and I shall be forced to beg.
That sounds like it could be fun.
This poor butler.
I meant
Resort to violence.
In which case, lead the way.
Mr. Luton, as I understand it, my daughter-in-law has retained you to investigate a certain matter for her.
That's correct.
Then I take it you will be a frequent visitor to my house.
It seems likely.
Do you know who I am?
I know that they call you the Count.
Do you know why they call me the Count? Because I am a Count. Count Henning von Überwald. One of the Blintz von Überwalds, I ought to add, because frankly, Überwald had an uncountable number of counts. And I'm trapped in Ankh-Morpork at the moment because my current infirmity prohibits me from leaving this room.
That doesn't explain why you wanted to see me.
I wish to know what my daughter-in-law has you investigating.
That's between me and her.
No, Mr. Luton. I rather suspect it isn't. You see, Carlotta's hands are not on the von Uberwald purse strings, but mine are.
So you're saying I won't get paid unless I tell you what I'm doing?
No, I'm implying that. Whether or not you actually get paid is a different issue.
What's it to you?
I get very bored. I'm interested as to what goes on around me.
All right. I'm tracking someone for her.
Someone who is missing?
That's right. A man named Mundy.
Oh, I see. Very well. If you keep me informed on the progress of the case periodically, I will ensure that you receive payment.
So if I keep you informed on how the Mundy case is going, you'll ensure that I get paid?
As much as it is in my power to do so, yes.
And what if I mention this to Carlotta? Maybe she's got the money from other sources and doesn't need the family money.
A possibility. Very well. I'll offer to pay you irrespective of whether Carlotta pays you herself.
That seems a little unethical. I'd be betraying the trust of a client.
I'll pay you twice your usual fees.
Well, what do you know? Suddenly I've resolved all my ethical dilemmas.
Ethics are a salve for the poor, Luton.
I am the poor.
You sound as if you are proud of the fact.
The poor are often prouder than the rich. They know that what they have can't be taken away.
Why would anyone want to take their poverty away?
I didn't say the poor were smart. I said they were proud. You said you have to stay in the conservatory. Why?
I'm not a well man, Mr. Luton. It is hard to say how long I have for this world, or indeed if the next world will take me.
What's so special about the conservatory?
Ankh-Morpork is too hot and humid for my tastes. I had the conservatory built especially. It's colder than the rest of the house. I keep it at the temperature I feel most comfortable with.
Why so cold?
You ask too many questions.
I'm an investigator. It's my job.
Well, be thankful that I find your impertinence charming, or else I might be forced to teach you a lesson.
In your condition?
You would be surprised at just what I can do in my condition, Mr. Luton.
There's a lot of background noise on the audio output. No. One sec.
Look at you, sailing through the air majestically, like an eagle, piloting a blimp.
Right. They done that thing again where it switched the noise filter in the audio filters to the rubbish one instead of the good one. We'll have to see how it sounds now.
So the von Uberwalds are wealthy then?
Not compared to
No, that sounds
some,
shit.
But we have more than enough to look after our own.
Is Carlotta one of your own?
When she married into us, she became a part of us.
You sound like you don't approve.
My opinions of Carlotta are not the issue. Traditions and ties of blood are stronger than opinions.
But there is no tie of blood between you and Carlotta. She married into the clan.
Mr. Luton, there are ties of blood between all the von Uberwalds. In Uberwald, blood is very important.
think it might just be the game.
So you're a count.
I am the Count, yes.
What's it like?
It's fine. Although one does get the occasional burning desire to tear out the throat of people who do I have to.
Do you know the Salat?
I'm the Selaci family and the von Uberwalds do occasionally mix in polite society.
By polite society, you mean high society?
Well, certain.
Is there any chance you could show me around it?
Mr. Luton, there is little chance that I will leave this room for. Also, I confess it would bring back happy memories of when I was dating.
You took your dates to a mausoleum?
Sometimes. Sometimes my dates lived in mausoleums.
You dated the dead?
No, the undead. They can be terrible bores sometimes, but most vampires are terribly well bred.
Have you heard of a singer?
These days, the only people I know.
Tell me about Carlotta.
I find it impertinent that.
You'll live.
It is fortunate that
I guess this must be my lucky.
Very. Carlotta became a member of the family by marrying my son Ulrich, who is no longer with us.
I'm sorry.
Yes, he returned to Uberwald several years ago.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought he was dead.
Oh, he is. And, alas, Carlotta is now part of my family, and I.
Why do you dislike her so much?
It is not something you should trouble you.
Mm-hmm.
What?
These days. These days.
What can you tell me about Monday?
I'm afraid I can tell you nothing. But I would be interested in what you have to say about.
Yeah, it's a talkie game. Point and click adventure.
Cheating on her.
And you believed her?
An investigation in this one.
Or not is immaterial.
Oh, what did he say?
What can you tell?
I'm afraid, but I would be interested.
Carlotta says he's an ex-lover. She suspects him of cheating.
And you believe?
Whether I believe her or not.
Yeah, it's the game. The Storm audio
Now let's get this straight.
in that
We're
location
looking for a
had loads of
troll
fuzz on
named
it.
Therma.
As far as I know, yes, but she may be in.
Also, she didn't get changed. Oh, she put a sword on.
Lodestone.
Okay, then we can rule out the Fornix Sanguis Ceruleus.
What?
The Blue Blood Vault. We can probably eliminate the heroic decapitated war veterans vault and the thoroughbred pet vault. Do you know what relation this troll had to the Selaci family?
Does there have to be one?
She wouldn't be buried here if she wasn't.
Well, your guess is as good as mine. It took Carlotta a while to work it out, but we eventually found a Madame Lodestone in the Fornix Familis, the servitor's vault. Guess she used to keep the floors real clean or something.
Here we are. Madame Lodestone.
There's an inscription. Madame Lodestone, singer and retainer of Lord Robert Selaci, taken from us when her house collapsed, returning her to the rubble from whence she came. Not much of an epitaph. Still, it's more than I expect mine will say. I'll probably end up with whatever's written on the cement bag round my feet.
uh,
Carlotta? Carlotta? She disappeared without even a word. I couldn't work that woman out. Still, she'd found me the tomb, which left me trying to decide whether or not to tell Malachite. A heavy stone slab covered the tomb of Madame Lodest. That wasn't going to help. That was
works in the movies.
A heavy stone.
Bet you I know who will move it. Malachite, probably. So where's she buggered off to then? Are we just going to assume that she can look after herself?
Hello again. No, So how? Well, I think I found Therma's body. It's in the Salaci Mausoleum.
Need to see body. Take me there.
Okay. Nice to see someone dealing with the grieving process at high speed. Cut straight to the acceptance. It saves a lot of time, doesn't it? I don't know why I bother sometimes. Not as if he's listening to me. Maybe it'd help if I hit him with something, like maybe a really heavy building.
Need to see body.
Of course you do. Here's the tomb.
Need to see body.
Hey, it's going to be pretty ugly in there. I mean, she was crushed under a house. That'd mess up even a troll.
Need to see body.
Malachite pushed the slab off the tomb like he was opening a jam jar. Inside was some rubble that I assumed was Therma's body. Frankly, there wasn't much to go on. Trolls are rocks, and that's the whole story.
Not Therma. Keep looking.
Are you crazy? How could you tell?
Not Therma. Keep looking.
I was beginning to wonder if Malachite was mad. If he was, I could at least make use of it. Okay, I've got no soul. I must be a heel. All right, I'll keep looking. But I've got a problem. There's this building I need to get into, but I can't do it. I need a grappling iron. A grappling iron like the one you have. Look, I need to borrow your grappling iron. Do you understand?
Give you hook. You find Therma.
That's the deal. I couldn't help but wonder what it meant if that rubble wasn't Therma. Had Sapphire lied to me? I wouldn't be surprised. Frankly, I was more surprised by people telling me the truth than telling lies. Lies flow like water, but the truth burns. That's not a bad line. I better write that down. Malachite gave me the grapple and left the mausoleum without another word. The rubble was definitely the body of a troll. But according to Malachite, it wasn't Therma's body. I examined the body closely, but all I could see of interest were the troll's diamond teeth glinting at me. The glinting diamond teeth of the troll seemed to lure me like a siren. Well, okay, so greed lured me like a siren. Either way, I really wanted one of those teeth. All my best instincts told me not to take the tooth, but I just ignored them. Hello again.
I take it, sir, still...
No.
Very good, sir.
Nice, huh?
Sir, you... What?
What can you tell me?
I regret to inform, sir, that the Count's health has been in gradual decline and that he will probably not...
That's 5 months away.
Sir's grasp of mathematics dazzles.
What's the problem?
Merely that, unlike sir, I have not been blessed with a truly
With the...
The Count's health has been failing for some years now, but I believe he has never been so bad as since the loss of his one companion.
His companion? Who's that?
I fear that my idle tongue has already revealed too much of the Count's private affairs, and I would ask that sir respect the Count's privacy.
So,
why sir believes that asking me again will yield any different answer is beyond...
So what do you make of Sir
Sir is...
No, I just wanted to, come back
You
or
know,
not. No.
I'd like...
Many people. Let us see if you are blessed by her...
Back for more, Luton?
What can I say? I can't get enough of you. So what's the story with you and Ulrich?
Do you believe in love at first sight, Luton?
It saves a lot of time, certainly.
Ulrich fell for me the moment we met.
I wonder
guess
why.
Seeing that painting every day probably helped.
Don't sell yourself short. You have a few assets of your own. I'm sure it was an equitable transaction.
You think I married him for his money?
Did you?
Let me tell you something, Luton. I've been rich and I've been poor. Rich is...
Did you...
Does it matter?
It matters to...
Maybe I guess it depends.
Love is a moment of...
Okay, we know about all this.
You wanted to know how the case... What can you tell me?
The Duchess, born Charlotte...
I don't have much to... Do you get on with the Count?
Henning? He's harmless. He's from a pretty civilized branch of the clan.
He's your father-in-law, I take it.
Hey, what do you know? You are a detective after all.
He doesn't seem very well.
I doubt he'll last the year.
And when he dies, you inherit it all?
Gods, no. The house belongs to the von Uberwald clan now. There's thousands of them. I might have married into them, but they'd never let me keep the house. It belongs to the family, you see. Why? Looking for suspects? Wondering if the old man's failing health is the result of poison administered to him carefully in his food?
No, but those are good ideas. Thanks for the tip. Do you know anything about the Count's missing companion?
Perhaps that's something you should discuss.
I'm trying to find out why a troll named Sap... Any thought?
Be careful.
I think that's all there is to ask her. Ah, they werewolves, are they?
I'll say this for the von Uberwalds. They had class. There weren't many homes in Ankh-Morpork with a window that could take your breath away. Well, maybe in Unseen University, but I'd heard that they had windows there that could literally take your breath away. The painting bore a striking...
Ah, Mr.
Just a few questions. So if I keep you in... So the von Uber... Do you know anything about...
Zera, I don't see why the...
I was talking about the...
Mr.
Your interest in the Mundy case wouldn't have something to do with your missing companion, would it?
Why, Mr. Newton, I'm impressed. You actually do have some detective skills.
What's the deal?
He was my friend. Perhaps my last friend. He was a dwarf of simple tastes, and when I was younger, he drove my carriage for me. These days, given that I am confined to the conservatory, I have no need for a driver, but I kept Rekin on the payroll so that I should have someone to talk to.
When did he go missing?
3 days ago. He took the carriage out that night and has not been seen since.
And you thought Carlotta might have employed me to look for him?
I was hoping, yes.
You could always employ me to find him.
Wouldn't that be a conflict of interests?
I don't see why. Anyway, there isn't a conflict of interest that I know about that couldn't be solved with a generous cash settlement.
Be assured that if you can find Reagan, I can offer you substantial recompense.
Then I'll see what I can do. The Count gave me an iconograph of Reagan to help my investigations. My mind was already racing. 3 days ago, the Milka arrives. 3 days ago, Reagan disappears. Now, I believe in coincidences. Coincidences happen every day. But I don't trust coincidences. Something deeper was going on here, and I was going to find out what. Because I can't stand a secret, and because I have a burning need to find the truth. But mostly, because there was a wad of money in it for me if I found out.
Do-do-do-do. Nice.
Hello. No. Very good. I'll be back.
Talk to the man. He's not in the list? Okay. He's not something I can ask about.
I bet you
Guess that's
can't
just a
wait.
private thing.
Indeed, sir. My anti...
Okay. I need a wheat. I'm going to save. Missing dwarf. Right. Be right back. I'll go out to the city because the music's better. Right. Yabby. Going back. Okay. Right, so we've got a missing dwarf to find. And we've got a pier to break into.
I wasn't the disc.
Nice animation. An attempt was made. Right, let's save. I should have looked first.
The skylight was... The skylight sat on the roof. I damaged the skylight slightly when I forced it open with the crowbar. Gee, how would I sleep at night? Breaking into the warehouse was easier than I thought. But then I was a natural pessimist. Living in Ankh-Morpork did that to a man. What little light there was in the warehouse was coming through the skylight, and shadows played on the walls as I searched for something to help the case. I didn't know what I was looking for, but I was desperate enough that anything would do. The warehouse was full of crates. I wasn't surprised. That's what the warehouse was for, after all. None of the crates seemed to be of much interest, though.
Oh. That's what the corner's off. I think that's it. I think that's the only thing in here, right? Just crates.
The scrap of cardboard I'd found on the Milka matched the torn matchbook exactly.
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
The reconstructed matchbook clearly read 9 Whalebone Lane. I suppose I could tear it up again, but I was pretty... Reagan was Count von Uberwald's driver and confidant. He'd paid me to find him, or to find out what had happened to him, and had given me this picture of him to help. The invitation...
Luton, I am anxious to see. Come to the von Carlotta.
It hadn't been easy getting the grappling iron from Malachite. Of course, even getting a meaningful sentence from Malachite was a challenge. A beautiful, glittering diamond. I tried not to think that I had pulled it out of a dead troll's corpse. I'd pulled the label out of the... Any thoughts on this match? I don't know. Any thoughts? I don't. You could say this about.
Damn it, Nobby. Why you so useless? Who would I be asking?
I could talk to Samael. Any thoughts on this matchbook or what's written on it?
I'm afraid.
Any thoughts on this?
I'm sorry, Luton.
Yep, she's gone. Makes sense.
Do you know what this is?
It's a matchbook.
Any reason it might have the address of the parrot written on the back?
None that has anything to do with me.
I knew he was hiding something. The question was, how could I get it out of him? I'm against unnecessary violence. Besides, these skinny types can be tougher than they look. I'm back.
So
you don't know Mundy?
I've already told you that I don't.
And this matchbook means nothing to you?
Do you practice to become this irritating?
Well, I'm confused. You see, this is Mundy's handwriting on the matchbook, and this is your address he wrote. Shall I tell you what I think?
I don't think I have that much choice.
I think Mundy is here, but he told you not to tell anyone that he's here.
You're just making it up as you go along.
Well, I could always go and fetch the watch. I heard they were looking for Mundy too, and if he's not here, you wouldn't have to worry about being charged with hiding a known fugitive. They can get so impatient.
Mundy's not a fugitive.
How would you know?
You little... All right, you win. He's upstairs, but don't tell him I told you.
I wouldn't dream of ruining your reputation in high society. This seems like enough. Have you always owned? No. Tell me about.
Why don't you?
She's gone.
It's not often I.
Right.
Do you recognize the dwarf in this iconograph?
I know a lot of people. That doesn't mean I.
Yeah, fair enough.
I wasn't about to flash this.
So this upstairs that's down arrow? Nice.
I'd gone to a lot of trouble to find Mundy, and now the goal was in reach. It seemed like an anticlimax. I couldn't quite see what Mundy was doing when I entered his room, and seconds later I couldn't see nothing at all. The last thing I saw as I passed out of consciousness was the floor rushing up to meet me.
We made it to
By
Act
the
2!
time I came around, the watch had arrived. I must have been unconscious for hours, maybe days. I thought no one could feel as bad as I did, until I saw Mundy. His feet were bound and his eyes had been gouged out. Either he died of massive blood loss, or he'd spilt an awful lot of red wine. It wasn't going to be a good day, I decided.
Going somewhere, Luton? You don't leave until we've finished with you.
You know where my office is. If you want an interview, you can find me there.
I consider you to be the prime suspect in this investigation.
You've got to be kidding.
I've never been more serious.
Never? What do you want with me? I was unconscious throughout the whole incident.
We only have your word for that. You could have killed Mundy and then knocked yourself unconscious.
With what?
Your wedding. You're pretty serious then.
What?
Yes, Nobby. Now shut up.
Will you explain what you think I did?
You came in, mutilated Mundy, and then knocked yourself unconscious.
Is that all?
There's your promotion, too. You were really serious then.
Nobby, you've made your point, thank you. Shut up.
How did I knock myself unconscious?
I don't know yet. But you're not a complete fool, Luton. You'd have found a way.
Do you have any evidence against me, or is this just part of your ongoing campaign of victimization?
It's just, you're always kind of serious.
You were present at the time of the murder. Your rope was used in the murder.
My rope? The murderer steals from me, and suddenly I'm guilty of murder?
It's not a bad thing. I mean, you're the commander of the watch, and that's a serious job.
Then there's the victim's message.
Azil? How does that incriminate me?
It ends in L.E. He could have been trying to write Luton. He could have died before he could finish.
He could have been trying to write Lemon. And what is Azzy supposed to mean?
I was only trying to help.
For all we know, Azzy might mean it was in Mundy's own language.
For all we know, Azil might mean help. Someone has gouged my eyes out.
3712V.
Guessing. There
Probably.
must be other suspects.
The landlord says no one went upstairs after you.
It could be the landlord for all you know.
Mankin? He's not the type. Anyway, he reported the incident to us.
Listen, you've got nothing on me, and unless you're going to arrest me, I'm going to leave.
I'm keeping an eye on you, Luton. Consider yourself a suspect for all the counterweight killings. If you're in any way involved, I'll find out. Don't leave town, Luton.
He's really got it in for me, hasn't he?
He's not a bad person, Luton. He's just a bit...
Psychotic? Obsessed? Judgmental?
I was going to say overworked, but I've changed my mind.
What's this about counterweight killings?
Well, this is in the strictest confidence.
I won't tell anyone who doesn't talk to me.
The murders have all been a bit, well, odd, redualistic.
What? They are involved with a revival of philosophical principles concerning the division of
No.
reality into two independent forces, mind and matter?
Well, this was made in
redualistic,
1998.
like what cults do.
I don't think Vimes was as
Ritualistic.
fleshed out of a character. He hadn't been in as many books.
Someone was trying to make a point.
Yeah.
Nobby's voice is
One of the
perfect, yeah.
Patrician's clerks was killed the other day. Very suspicious.
Welcome in, by
Why
the
the
way,
counterweight
Master
killings?
Bismuth, unless you've been here this whole time.
Oh, I'd better not discuss that.
In which case,
Gotta go.
hi.
See you later.
How you doing?
A lot later will do.
Yeah.
The bed looked neither comfortable nor inviting. It hardly seemed worth searching the bed. The watch had already searched it, and frankly, it was a pretty nasty bed. Mundy's corpse wasn't very attractive. I wasn't looking forward to telling Carlotta how Mundy died. Someone, either the killer or Mundy, had written Azil on the wall in blood. Mundy's blood, presumably. I had no idea what it meant. If I had an iconograph, I could have taken a picture of the message. But I didn't have one, and even if I did, there didn't seem much point. I didn't want to become too reliant on technology.
Reading all the Discworld novels in order of release. Nice. Men at Arms. The wager that that's the last book about the watch that was released for this game. Yeah, I think so.
It seemed to be a cheap copy of Spinner's Rain, Cream, and Speed. I could tell it was art, because I couldn't make out what it was supposed to be. I couldn't think of a good reason to steal the painting, even though it would have looked great on my office wall. There was nothing on Mundy's body worth taking. I couldn't think. It seemed to be
So I've lost the invite and the rope off the grappling hook and the matchbook and some other stuff.
How does it feel to be a suspect, Mankin?
What?
You're an obvious choice of suspect because you called the watch. You were the first on the scene. Round here, that means it's practically a closed case. I don't see why. You were there when I got there. I was unconscious. Well, I heard a commotion. That's what made me check it out in the first place. Maybe Mundy managed to knock you out before he died. While he was tied and blind? Perhaps he said a particularly offensive word and I fainted. Well, I happen to know that the Watch consider you a suspect. Well, don't forget that I know something that they don't. That you're a liar and you can't be trusted. Just because you can't trust me doesn't mean no one can trust me. Does the word is leave me alone? So why did you kill Mundy? What? I didn't lay a finger on it. You gotta be crazy. Do you have any idea how bad all this is for business? Why would I cause all this? I'd have to be crazy. Vimes told me that you're a suspect. Of course I'm a suspect. I'm half elf. We're always a suspect. No one trusts us.
I like the music in the in this dive bar.
I need to speak with Sapphire.
Try and imagine how much.
Look, is she here or...
She's in her dressing room.
It's really impolite to walk into a room without knocking. But who knows what you miss out on when you take the time to knock. Sapphire had a pile of money in her room, and I was glad I hadn't given her an opportunity to hide it.
Luton, you startled me. Didn't Mother tell you not to walk into rooms unannounced?
Mother told me to walk into rooms with a crossbow. She was a sensible woman.
What you want?
That's quite a lot of money you've got.
What? Oh, yeah. Money, yeah.
Where'd you get it, Sapphire?
Oh, that. Well,
Yeah.
see,
Yeah, all the Discworld
I
games have
won it.
Won it?
definitely
Yeah,
been for fans.
At casino.
Which one?
Saturnalia. Sapphire go there often.
Really? Is it a good casino?
Oh, yeah. Good as casino get. You should go, Luton.
Maybe I will.
Deal with that. Go.
You lied to me, Sapphire. Strung me along with that Madame Lodestone story.
What? No. Sapphire told truth.
The troll in Madame Lodestone's grave wasn't Therma.
How you tell?
Malachite told me.
You trust him?
He's too stupid to lie, and you're too smart not to.
Sapphire not smart. Big dumb troll, like all the other trolls.
Don't play games, Sapphire. I know you're smarter than the average troll, although I could say the same about some mushrooms.
Look, Sapphire don't know why someone would switch bodies. Sapphire just trying to help.
She was lying to me. I could feel it. She was obviously hiding something, but it was apparent I needed to know more if I was going to worm it out of her.
Hmm.
So, you won this money at the races.
No, not at races. At casino.
Oh, yeah, that's right. At the casino. You heard of the counterweight killings?
Yeah?
What do you know about them?
Sapphire know they called counterweight killing. Sapphire know people kill. That all Sapphire know.
Thanks for telling me where to...
Can't a girl help out friends?
Am I your friend?
We see, honey. We see. Everyone needs friends.
How does it feel to be working underneath where Mundy was horrifically murdered?
People die, honey. It happens.
Do you know anything about Mundy's death?
Sapphire know that you prime suspect.
Word travels fast, doesn't it?
Small town.
It's not so small. Anyway, gossip spreads faster the more people there are to hear it. It's funny that way. What?
You must think.
What?
You must.
Do you?
You must.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, ask about this.
Does the word Azil?
You a.
How does it?
People die. It.
Yeah.
Do you know it? It's not. Anyway. How does it feel to...
Okay, we've exhausted everything here, I think.
Based upon the real truth, the King of Ankh, Hwell's most boring play. Learn the eight... Missing. Small dog. Answers to the name of Mr. Huggy. Based upon the real truth. Missing. Based upon... Learn the ancient mystic art of the Path of the Scorpion. Unique mail-order lessons on this famous self-defense method. By Grand Master Lobsang Dibbler.
Well, there's the casino. Right. I am going to finish up there. I'm going to see if there's anybody to raid. If you liked what I do, come back next Wednesday. I start roughly midday, 1 o'clock on a Wednesday. Oh, thanks, Alito. I love what you do too. Yeah. Try and make this more regular. It's been difficult recently. There've been lots been away a lot, and having a 1-year-old is requires a lot of time. But yeah, if you like retro games, like these sort of games, yeah, drop a follow or lurk or whatever. Right, time to find somebody to raid. I will put the thank you screen on and then put you in a raid somewhere. Alright, let's have a look. Right. Poe is playing the Crimson Diamond, which is a text parser adventure game that's just been released. You're probably sick to death of that, aren't you? You've probably all played it or want to play it. And Sakura is playing Myth: The Fallen Lords, which is a hilarious game. Who else? Let's have a look. Just looking at the retro category. Anybody with low viewers? There's a lot of console stuff these days, isn't there? In the retro channel. I'll send you to Poe. Why not? Plays lots of retro games, adventures and puzzle stuff like Riven and Myst and classics and stuff. Always a good watch. Really nice community. Yeah, so enjoy. Thanks for watching. Thanks for lurking. Bye.